Livestock traders have lamented the high prices, noting that the meat trade has become hard to sustain in the county.
At the homesteads of different herders in Kajiado County, their backyards hold fresh memories of the devastating impacts of the 2021-2022 drought that claimed at least 800,000 livestock, leaving many households with only a few livestock. Carcasses dumped behind the houses continue to rot. The surviving animals have hardly recovered. At Ilbisil Market, countable number of goats, sheep and cows is a rather an unusual sight. With a decrease in livestock numbers, prices have shot up, with a goat or sheep retailing at between 15,000 shillings to 20,000 shillings from 8,000 shillings, while a mature bull retails at between 80,000 shillings to 120,000 shillings. The traders are furious due to the increased prices, saying that the prices have affected their businesses.
Mbuzi sana sana imepanda zaidi kwa sababu ya ile kiangazi iliyopita ilimaliza hizo mzigo, imekuwa kidogo sana.
Nimekuwa kwa biashara hii kwa miaka 15, lakini saa hii imekuwa na mambo mingi sana. Kwa hiyo imekuwa na bei kali, lakini kulingana na ile kiangazi ilikuwa last year.
Saa hii mbuzi ni 15,000. Mbele tulikuwa tunanunua na 8,000. Ni ukweli. Lakini sasa mambo mbaya.
Traders have increased meat prices from 500 shillings to 600 shillings to cope with the harsh economy. For Lunchtime News, I am Teresa Mutai.
Optometrist Association of Kenya. Let me take that again. All right, away from that, we would have that as soon as I get it. Okay, right now it's up on air. Optometrics Association of Kenya, OAKE, is calling on the government to prioritize eye health coverage for all Kenyans by embracing awareness creation as the country joined the world in commemorating World Sight Day. The players in the sector say a vast majority of Kenyans are likely to have eyesight complications in the future due to a lack of regular eye checks, especially at the workplace, with photophobia identified as the biggest threat working with Kenya. The World Sight Day, which is observed annually on the second Thursday of October, is a global event meant to draw attention to blindness and vision impairment. This year's theme was Love Your Eyes at Work.
Checking on our eyes, which carries the message of World Sight Day, more so basically to employees, is something that we cannot ignore. And also I call up to the government and the Ministry of Health to make sure that we set up policies and strategies that are beneficial to employees. I also call out employers to make sure that the working environment is safe for everyone across the country.
By 2050, the number of blind people, not just in Kenya, but around the world, would be extremely high. So for us, it's so important this year to focus on World Sight Day from the perspective of if we do not take care of the issues today, then tomorrow might not be as bright and sunny as we'd want it to be.
Lobby groups from Ikolomani constituency, Kakamega County, have started an anti-Jiga campaign to rid the area of the menace that is affecting the majority of the locals. The menace, they say, is especially affecting school-going children, which causing levels of absenteeism, negatively affecting learners' outcome and pupils in the area. Caspar Ikutwa Foundation is conducting an anti-Jiga campaign in schools targeting pupils, parents and teachers in the region.
Kwa sababu watoto wengi watawatoroka, hawatawakaribia, na wanapotengwa na wanakaa peke yao, hata kuuliza swali shuleni hawawezi. Unapata hii kitu inashika hadi mawazo yao, hata performance ya hao watoto shuleni si mzuri.
Jamii hawataki, lakini tukishakutana na hilo changamoto tunawaweka moyo, hata sisi wenyewe saa zingine tunajicommit, tunajiweka pamoja kama community health promoters.
Police in Thika have recovered bang worth 4.3 million shillings and arrested an alleged notorious bang peddler and his accomplices. During the operation, they recovered over 100 kilograms of bang, which was being prepared for distribution. Kiambu County Police Commander Paminas Kioi said the suspected drug dealer has been sourcing the outlawed substance and distributing it to his business associates who were selling them. They are being held at Kiandutu police station for interrogation before being arraigned in court.
Hii sio biashara halali, hii sio biashara ambayo unaweza sema ati polisi wanakuharibia biashara. Either iwe pombe chafu, pombe mbaya, pangi kama hii, si hatuogopi hata kidogo, na tutandio nao vile ipasavyo na pia kulingana na mujibu wa sheria.
Still in Kiambu, Governor Kimani Wamatangi has unveiled Kiambu Afya Health Scheme that will benefit over 300,000 county residents. The initiative will see beneficiaries enjoy enhanced medical coverage funded by the county government and implemented by the National Health Insurance Fund (NHIF). The beneficiaries will also be able to access inpatient services at government-accredited hospitals across the country, enhanced outpatient care at county facilities, as well as receive more comprehensive coverage, including treatment of chronic diseases like hypertension and diabetes.
No one in Kiambu must ever make the agonizing choice between their health and their financial stability. Healthcare is a right, not a privilege. And today we are taking a giant leap towards making this a reality for each and every one of you.
Tungependa kushukuru kwa sababu ya siku hii ya leo ambayo tunazindua rasmi mradi huu wa Kiambu Universal Health Care. Na ombi langu kwako Governor, uturuhusu katika mpango huu tuongeze pia na mental health care kwa hawa ambao wanafanya hiyo kazi, ili waweze kutusaidia vijana wetu ambao hawajakuwa katika mipango hii ya hospitali.
At about 33 minutes past the top of the hour, we are due for a break. But when we come back, we still have more news, business, and also the latest from the world of sports. Keep it Channel 1.
Wakurugenzi! Madai kuna magic. Raundi, tumefungulia magic. Karibuni! Hii ndio base ya the best local entertainment.
Usijaribu. Uniwezi mimi.
Sema ndrama.
Yaani mama na dada na fight na kazi yako ni Zodiac Signs.
That girl is not his daughter.
Mademu wa telenovela. We got you. Na mamandem pia. Njoro iko tu sawa. Baby. We, tumefungulia Magic na Maisha Magic Plus. You can now watch your favorite local entertainment on DSTV Access and GoTV Plus.
Tumefungulia Magic. Starting from the 7th of October, Maisha Magic Plus will be on DSTV Access and GoTV Plus.
County Government of Turkana welcomes you to the Ehale Center in Lodo Town for the 7th edition of the Turkana Cultural and Tourism Festival. From the 12th to the 14th of October 2023. Come, experience the origin of mankind with its unmatched beauty, from the beaches of Lake Turkana to the oil wells of Lokichar. Live on Channel 1, Radio Taifa and KBC Turkana Service.
Safari yangu ya reli kilikuwa pambam. Ananipenda leo kuliko jana.
Usiruhusu upendo na chuki vikazidi akili na ufahamu wako. Ukipenda, penda kwa kiasi, na ukichukia, chukia kwa kiasi.
Sifa 4 za lugha.
Sifa moja ni kuwa lugha ina uwezo wa kufa, pia una uwezo wa kuwa.
Wakati wa kiangazi kuna tatizo linalokumba zaraa. Wingi?
Nyakati za kiangazi kuna matatizo yanayokumba zaraa.
What's in Your Kitchen, a show that celebrates Kenyan and African dishes. Rusha. Wait. At Pelelani Annex Naivasha, she shared a bit of her life background story and her cooking skill.
Be careful.
Yes, because I've seen some fire jump there.
That is called flambéing.
Flambéing. So tukiona moto tujue ni flambéing. Chele yetu iko sawa? Iko sawa? Tumalize.
Sasa ni kwenda tukule. Lakini hauendi.
Mimi siendi.
Hauendi.
Hiyo tutaongea kwa meza kwanza.
Sawa.
Salivate this delicious meal on your screen while taking notes for the recipe. Every Sunday, only on KBC.
Welcome back to Channel 1 Lunchtime News, and thank you so much indeed for keeping me company. Let's move on. The Ministry of Education has released the 2024 academic calendar for primary, and secondary schools and teacher training colleges. According to the circular by the Ministry of Education, the term 1 is expected to commence on the 8th of January to end on the 5th of April, lasting 13 weeks. Second term will last 13 weeks, beginning 29th April to 2nd of August. The national examination, that is the Kenya Primary School Education and the Kenya Intermediate Level Education Assessment, KILEA, will be administered from the 28th to the 31st of October. This will be followed by the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education, KCSE, which will be administered from the 4th to the 22nd of November. Schools will close for 10 weeks to resume on 3rd of January. Elsewhere, Trans Nzoia County Governor George Natembeya has launched the Community Health Promoter Kits CHP, calling for their prudent use. Speaking at the launch ceremony of the kits, Governor Natembeya urged the health providers in the county not to lease the CHP kits, but rather use them for the intended purpose. He also warned against the laxity of health workers in the county.
Mimi nimeangalia hii record and I'm very annoyed kama governor ya Trans Nzoia. Kuna madaktari, surgeons, senior surgeons ambao kuanzia 2022 mpaka 2023, almost 2 years, hajawahi fanya surgery hata moja. Kuna wengine unapata mmoja amefanya surgery 140, one person. Mwingine amefanya moja, mwingine amefanya 0. Sasa mimi hawa watu mimi nasema nifute bwana. Kwa sababu nyinyi mnasema nikifuta wataenda kwa strike. Watu wako strike.
Elsewhere, investors in real estate have been urged to be on the lookout for fraudulent land dealers in the country. This comes amid a rise of people being issued with fake title deeds by individuals masquerading as land dealers. Speaking during a title deed issuance exercise in Kasarani constituency, Nairobi, the investors said that it is the high time for the sector works hand in hand with the government in order to rid the industry of cartels. They have urged young people to invest in real estate for their security.
Ningewaomba kwanza wawe wakiharakisha kuissue title deeds. Ni kweli wanajaribu kuweka mambo ya digital title issuance, and it is a process which is undergoing. So I think that could maybe increase the speed of title issuing.
Residents of Muranda Ward, Shinyalu constituency, Kakamega County are opposing a proposal by a section of leaders lobbying for the relocation of the airstrip from their area of Shikusa Ward due to lack of space for expansion. The leaders say they are willing to offer their land to pave way for the construction of the airstrip, which will open up trade links in the county. The construction of the airstrip, which is in its conceptualization stages, will ease the mobility of people, in the area. Kakamega County has reaffirmed that the airstrip will be constructed in the area despite the local politics.
Amisho hapa kwa sababu Shikusa ni hapa tu ngambo. Kenya Airports Authority na governor wakuja clear. Watuambie ni lipi linaendelea kuhusu mambo ya kiwanja ya ndege.
Kwa majina naitwa Praxiti Sirako. Hii shughuli ya kiwanja sinzi walivyokuja kutembea katika mapama yetu wote tuliridhika. Wakatoka wakatuambia watarudi kuitisha mkutano jinsi ya viti yetu vile imehesabiwa. Lakini tangu leo hawajai rudi.
Kenya Airports Authority na Kenya Civil Aviation watasema watatupatia official report na recommendations ya vile kudeal na hii kesi yetu ya kiwanja ya ndege.
Shifting gears, the Agricultural Development Corporation says it will soon lease out parts of its land to more investors for the production of edible oil. The corporation says it is in the process of verification before issuing lease documents. ADC Managing Director Mohamed Bule says the corporation is targeting to lease out its expansive land in Kitale, Nanyuki, Kericho and other areas to prospective investors as part of a food security drive.
Early this year, the government announced plans to lease out thousands of acres of idle land owned by the Agricultural Development Corporation. The lease is for the production of various food items like maize, beans and milk in a bid to deal with the persistent headache of food insecurity in Kenya. ADC is one of the biggest landowners in the country with more than 1.5 million acres under its management. The corporation says it is currently re-evaluating various bids to pick successful land managers.
In the foreseeable near future, we are seeing a situation where we are going to have several partners to partner basically for food production.
ADC Managing Director Mohamed Bule says they will prioritize investors interested in edible oil production in a bid to reduce imports of the commodity. Kenya spends an average of 120 billion shillings annually to ship in palm oil into the country. Prospective investors have been encouraged to consider practicing climate-smart agriculture to mitigate against adverse effects of climate change.
The thing it will give you is the climate change challenges. It's either too dry or too wet or too, those changes. And then the unpredictable weather that it comes along with it. And today you are in good shape, and then tomorrow you are in drought, and you are importing grass all the way from Kitale to Malindi. Those are some of really the challenges that we face when we are here. I can remember the last drought. We were transporting a bale of hay that was costing us 200 shillings in Kitale. When it was coming here, it was 500 shillings, just because of transportation cost. So the challenges are basically climate change challenges.
The corporation has started digging trenches around its 12,000 acres of maize field in Kitale to protect the crop from El Nino rains. The corporation says it will also carry out an audit on all its land as it seeks to repossess grabbed lands.
Illegal grazing going on. We have a huge amount of land, but we have not sustained some of the animals, the livestock on the ground. There are challenges regarding many things concerning the legal and the ownership of land.
Benson Njue reporting for Lunchtime News.
Moving on, savings and credit cooperative organizations are increasing investment in cybersecurity systems to guard their operations from cyber threats. Baraka Yetu Sacco Chairman Isaac Gitonga says investment in ICT system is key in anchoring diversification of products and an appeal to youthful members.
The Sacco Society's regulatory authority early this year introduced rules governing SACCOs looking to adopt a financial technology in their activities in the wake of losses related to cybersecurity amounting to 201,000 shillings daily. Now, SACCOs are noting benefits of increased investments in their ICT systems.
We are focusing on technology, and that's the area that we have really invested. And we believe that once we invest in that area and we remain at par with the market, we won't be able to capture most of the clients, because that is the trend where many members are headed. And like technology-wise, that's our main target. We need to be visible in that space.
SACCOs are increasingly switching to digital channels to receive deposits from customers and disburse funds, which has left them vulnerable to cybersecurity threats from hackers who exploit weaknesses in such payment systems.
We also made a robust investment in the same aspect, ensuring that our SACCO is safe against any threats and to ensure that we compliant with the regulations as laid out.
Speaking during Baraka Yetu SACCO's 20th anniversary, Gitonga said SACCOs are key for economic growth.
We have so many strategies in place. As you are aware, the current government, the Kenya Kwanza, is SME-centered.
These cooperatives, other than the Matatu SACCOs, also pay licenses to the county to do business.
Let the members stretch an extra mile to save more, because once you save more, you will get a higher loan which can enable you to grow.
Alanaoko, Lunchtime News.
Kenya Revenue Authority is working with the National Treasury to simplify, harmonize and reduce multiplicity of taxes obligated to the informal sector. The taxman says this is part of tax-based expansion efforts that will include sensitization of informal traders and to appreciate the need for paying taxes.
The micro, small and medium enterprises employ about 15 million people, accounting for 83% of the country's total labor force. The taxman says this sector has a great tax potential and should be facilitated to uphold compliance. KRA Commissioner General Amfrey Watanga says the authority is working to improve tax compliance, especially in the informal sector, including sensitization exercise.
One way to broaden the tax bracket is by formalizing the informal sector. The process of formalization includes obtaining licenses, registering with business registration services, and compliance with statutory requirements. Addressing these challenges faced by the sector is a sure way of incentivizing MSMEs.
Tax experts reiterated the need to develop policies that will create a certain and predictable tax system. This, they said, will improve tax morale and inspire fairness, transparency and accountability.
The most effective ways of addressing non-compliance is through quality and efficient tax processes. It is envisaged that where the tax processes are efficient, then voluntary compliance among taxpayers is prompted.
Principal Secretary for Economic Planning James Muhati said the resilient tax systems will ensure that revenues recover in the face of external economic shocks, noting that a good system can only be established through review of policies. Edna Murungi, For Lunchtime News.
Further afield, Toyota Motors and Idemitsu Kosan have joined hands to develop and mass-produce all solid-state batteries for electric vehicles. The partnership follows an announcement in June by Toyota that it would introduce high-performance batteries to improve the driving range and reduce cost of future electric vehicles in a strategic pivot. Here are the details of this and other stories from other parts of the world.
Toyota, which has been slow in adopting pure battery-powered electric vehicles, trumpeted at the time a technological breakthrough that addressed durability problems in solid-state batteries and said it was developing means to mass-produce those batteries. Idemitsu and Toyota said they would aim to commercialize the next-generation batteries in 2027 to 2028, followed by the full-scale mass production. Idemitsu, Japan's second biggest oil refiner, has been expanding into electric vehicle battery supply chains, increasing its stake in Australian lithium developer Delta Lithium to 15% earlier this year, amid a global push by automakers to electrify their fleets. In its electric vehicle business strategy, Toyota aims for annual global sales of 1.5 million units in 2026 and 3.5 million units in 2030. Elsewhere, Britain's antitrust regulator has cleared Microsoft's acquisition of Call of Duty maker Activision Blizzard after the restructured deal addressed its early concerns. Activision in August agreed to sell its streaming rights to Ubisoft Entertainment, and Microsoft offered remedies to ensure the terms of the sale were enforceable by the regulator, soothing some residual concerns. The approval paves the way for Microsoft to close the deal next week after it extended the deadline by 3 months in July to secure UK approval. Microsoft announced the biggest gaming deal in history in early 2022, but the $69 billion acquisition was blocked in April on concerns that the US computing giant will gain too much control of the nascent cloud gaming market. Finally, China's economic data for September showed mixed results, with flat consumer price growth likely to fan concerns about the economy slipping into deflation. The consumer price index was unchanged from the same month a year ago. China's factory gate inflation remained in negative territory, with the official producer price index at negative 2.5 in September, easing from a low of negative 5.4% in June, as domestic raw materials prices staged a recovery on the back of the rising global commodity prices.
Very well, on that note, we wrap up KBC Lunchtime News, but as soon as we are done with this news, we are crossing over to the 7th edition of the Turkana Cultural and Tourism Festival that is currently underway until tomorrow. We have a team there that has been keeping tabs with what is happening there, and also to sample some of the cultures in Turkana and also see what exactly they are doing. Let's first of all cross over to Turkana. Do have yourself a blessed afternoon. My name is Njue, and Brian Muraru has been our sign language interpreter.
Mgeni wa heshima na wageni wote walioko hapa, naenda kuwabariki na wimbo moja unaozungumza kuhusu kuwa mwaminifu kwa yale unafanya, maana Mungu ana zawadi watu. Mungu peana zawadi ya kutumikia. Wimbo huo iko na muda mdogo sana. Naamini wengi wetu hapa tutabarikiwa. Asanteni sana. Mungu awabariki. Kwako DJ. Majina yangu ni Eiton Moses. Mtoto wa hapa. Nimebarikiwa, Mungu ameweka baraka kwa maisha yangu.
The Turkana Cultural Festival on its second day, right here at the Ekale Center in Lodwar, Turkana County. The First Ladies from the 47 counties who are special invitees of the First Lady of Turkana have just made their remarks, and of course they resolved to work together to support initiatives by individual First Ladies in individual counties. And right now the program is still ongoing. We've had about 3 hours of entertainment, And now we're going to head to the formal part of the speeches. The second day of this event is attended by the Azimio leader Raila Odinga and his running mate Martha Karua, as well as other top luminaries of the Azimio coalition. And we'll be listening to some of his speeches alongside a bit of entertainment as the Turkana County, the Turkana community, the Ataket community at large showcases their rich heritage and culture at the Ekale Center.
Eye niña kujunga kerona itoriti yomo Kito yono ngata meta na foni Nyeke na ngata mene Nikitoro ne polofo kilipita kujwa Eya na kaja waka toma kujwa Nikitoro yola chiki kuri na bolero Nachamake ngata meta la kara Taja waka ngata mene Kitoro ne polofo tono pita kujwa Yana kaja waka